Greetings. I might be Patience, but I know that I am Source. And so are you. Welcome to Limitless Alchemy 808. A channel of reflection, a channel of mirror work, a bridge between worlds. Just piggybacking on my previous video because I know that some who had seen it thought that perhaps I was going through an existential crisis. And no. I used to have existential crises, but after fully rejecting and reprogramming the conditioning that this experience heavily relies on, my previous video was more so about epiphanies. These are collective epiphanies. I am this collective. You are this collective. We are this collective because we are all source. We are all connected. We are all at the center. And it was more so just the shock of seeing Desiree, the YouTube creator that I was speaking about. Her channel is Celestial Rainbow 144. If you would like to look, check her videos out. And at the time I couldn't recall what we were speaking about in my mind's eye, but once the excitement waned, I was able to recall that her and I were just speaking about how ridiculous everything is and how that's okay. That the ridiculousness makes all of this more interesting. And that's what life's about. Having fun, making it interesting. Anything that we were told to believe from birth, life is hard, money is hard to make, things just don't fall in your lap, nobody's perfect. What's some other favorites here? You have to work hard to and you know, put others before yourself to get anywhere. You know, it's just like, oh, you're not nice if you don't put others before yourself. You have to be nice, you have to be quiet, you have to get in line, you have to put your head down, you have to stay quiet until it's done. It just all of these limitations that were placed upon us, we're now completely refusing, we're now completely rejecting. And that is because that is the appointed time for our soul's evolution. So we are one soul, the oversoul of Source. But each of us is just an iteration of that soul. Each of us is just, how can I say, a definition. So how some words have many definitions, Source has limitless definitions. And so And as each of us are in our own streams, it's like I said, or I believe I was saying this to someone else, but we have evidence in the Bible that humans, just going back to that original limiting belief that God is outside you, that you are just a human and you are to serve God your whole life so that you can go to heaven. And that's just all malarkey. That's just the biggest lie that we're fed to believe from birth, because it's up to each of us as the definition of source to confirmation birth. Thank you, universe. It's up to each of us as a definition of source to reject that lie, to remember the truth and reject that lie. I'm God, you are also God. And something that I've been hearing a lot lately within my core is don't confuse humility with doubt. When we doubt ourselves, that's just the ego. That's just the conditioning of this experience. Basically perpetuating the lie. It's kind of like, it's just a test. It's just a test. Are you going to reject that lie, or are you going to keep under that pretense? You think you have free will, but you don't. Essentially, you have free will because you are source, and source created everything. Source is source. Source is all. Source is nothing. So in that essence, yes, you do have free will. But as a meat puppet, you technically don't. You have the illusion of free will, but really you don't, because everything's patterned, because everything's orchestrated for the experience. The choices that you're making are the ones that were predetermined by the void, by source. So you do and you don't. This experience is all about contradictions, because it's up to us to use our discernment of what we're going to align with and what we're not going to align with. And so rejecting the conditioning of the experience and remembering the power that's within all of us, that we are creating our realities in a sense. It's been that when you speak something impossible, inconceivable, something contradictory to what everyone is conditioned to believe, you're being met with less and less resistance. You're being met more so with those who are hearing what you're saying, actually taking it into account. Whereas before, if you would have said something like that, something crazy, you would have been met with a lot of resistance and a lot of arguments. But because our internal reality affects our external reality, The reflections around you are changing. The reflections around you are aligning with you. They are serving you. When you serve yourself, you serve Source. When you serve yourself, you serve others, because we are all together. And it's a lot to do with the fact that you're integrating your ego and your shadow perfectly, and there's nothing really more that you need to do. There's only things that you want to do. Need comes from a place of lack, a place of scarcity, a place of fear, whereas want is a place of assertiveness, a place of self-validation, a place of self-serving. One of the conditionings that I reject and do not perpetuate is, how does it feel to want? Being asked that. I can't count how many times I heard my birth person tell me that. How does it feel to want? You know what? It feels fucking great. It feels awesome to want things, because I know that Source has put those desires, those preferences into my heart, into this definition, because those are the things that Source desires, that Source prefers. When you're happy, Source is happy. When you're upset, Source is upset. When you're angry, when you're depressed, when you're manic, you're just reflecting Source. It's kind of like when you're a kid and you played with, your Barbies or your action figures or any sort of humanoid figurine. That's pretty much what all of this is. So the greatest way, the easiest way, the most perfect way to change your reality, if you haven't done so already, which I know this collective has. There's many of us who are just joining, and welcome. You are home. You've never left, okay? The easiest way to change your reality is 1313 on the timer. Thank you, universe. Is to embrace your inner child, is to go back to that mindset, because that what you wanted to do most as a child, what you wanted to experience most as a child, is your highest excitement, is your soul's purpose, is your definition's purpose. And so once you embrace your inner child and nurture and love and build trust by following inspired actions towards your highest excitement, that is when inner peace truly finds you. That is when complete joy and bliss are in your life, in your experience. To view life from a child's perspective, to be happy for nothing, to not worry or expect anything, is a level of detachment that brings about such exponential growth, brings about such quick momentum and movement towards where you really want to be, where you really want to experience. And that is why, you know, we hear where there's a will, there's a way, because what you're willing to do, there's always going to be a way to achieve it, because you are the only one putting limitations on yourself, because you are the only one who is judging you. There's no, it's just all up to you. It's not your choice, but it is your choice. But don't worry, again, nothing that's for you never passes you by. It just finds you at the perfect appointed moment. I would love to go live. I would love to interact with all of you in real time. My current subscribers count is 40, and thank you to everyone here. Thank you to everyone who exchanges energy with this definition on a regular basis. But to go live, there should be at least 50 subscribers. So should you feel inclined to, hit that subscribe button, turn on bell notifications if you want to. Doesn't really matter, but the more subscribers and interactions that occur on this channel, the more this channel will get suggested to others, and that contributes to the exponential growth of our soul family, of our platform. Because my platform is not just about me, it's about all of us. It's about each and every one of us, and how coming together is going to affect immense changes. I saw a meteor last Friday, and then said to myself, the wish fulfillment is here. So what I'd love to do is meet with all of you. I really would. I mean, we're all connected. We're all together. I see you all the time in my dreams. I see you all the time in the astral plane. And I appreciate those interactions very much so. They're very dear to me. But in this experience, to have, you know, meetups, or I mean just Zoom even, like, because of each of us in our own time zones and locations and everything, virtual meetups would be great, just to chat, just to connect, just to co-create. So I'll work that out, and I mean, I'll receive the opportunity for that, and big things are happening. Big things are experiencing the collective now, right now. Thank you, universe. So if there's anything I've missed, be sure to watch my next video. as you will see it there. Knowing that you are God, but knowing that so is everyone else, is being humble, is having the greatest humility that we can have. So keep putting yourself on the pedestal. Keep reminding yourself how worthy and deserving you are. You don't need to, but if you want to, then that's what you should do. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.